All right, hey guys, we are going to be trying a different challenge this week. We're going to be upping the degree of difficulty a bit. Last week, the ear savers, as they're called, I saw some really good projects, so kudos to those of you who were doing a great job on that. This week, we're going to be upping the degree of difficulty here a little bit. I wanted to share something kind of exciting with you here. We got a thank you from NCH Healthcare System and the ER in North Naples there for the face shields that we've been printing. We've been printing these Prusa style face shields. These are really popular. There's been hundreds of thousands of these printed around the world, and we got on to do our part with our printers so we could give these to the hospital. So you can see these are some in use in the hospitals, in the ER. Pretty exciting to be able to help out in a way. Actually, there's our ear savers right there. Here's part of the manufacturing process. There's some people wearing theirs in the ER. And I thought that was really cool to get that recognition. So to start out today, we're going to be not starting from Thingiverse, but to get our files that we're going to need, we're going to go and do a quick search for Prusa Face Shield. And you should find this guy here. So you can come and you can download the file. The RC3 is the version that we've been printing. That's kind of the version that we want to also recreate. You can go back and do some reading about the RC2 and the RC1. Those are different variations. They've been doing a lot of iterations of this model to make it easier to print, faster to print, stronger, more reliable, easier to clean. They've been doing all kinds of things to try to fix this one up. We're going to build our own today. So I'm going to go ahead and download that. Head back over to Tinkercad. There you guys are. I'm going to create a new design here. Import my STL file. Oh, I downloaded the wrong type of file. Oh, I did the 3MF. I need the STL. Try that again. There we go. And import. Now, first thing you'll notice is it's a pretty large file. I mean, this has to fit on someone's head, so it will probably barely fit on our work plane here, if it fits at all. But we can also fix that. There you go. So you can see there's the design, and you can see that it's got two main components here. It's got kind of the inner strap. This rests against the forehead, and this is the outer strap. There's a gap here because that allows for doctors to be wearing goggles and ventilator masks or the N95 masks, so that it gives a little space for that to do to be an additional barrier. Over here, it's got the bungee strap, so this would go around the back. We obviously don't 3D print that part. Well, you could. There's elastic stuff, but this is going to be our goal, to print something along, or to design something along these lines, customized like we had done before for local area hospitals or whomever. So first things first, we want to take a look at and pay attention to some of these shapes and sizes. You can see the thickness of these. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm going to guess about 1, 2, 3, 4 millimeters. Let me see if I can use this box as a comparison there. Actually closer to 2 millimeters. If I'm looking at this one here, is 2 millimeters wide. I'm going to bring this down to 0.5 millimeter so I can really get the width dialed in, because I want to try to get it as close as possible. These do have to be somewhat flexible, so it is important that they're not too thick, because otherwise they won't really work. There you go. That's exactly 4 millimeters there. Wait, is that right? No, 2.5 millimeters. Sorry, 2.5. Also, notice kind of the beveled edge here. That just makes it so we don't have these sharp edges, and when people are wearing these on their face, we want to try to avoid those sharp edges too. We can create a beveled edge by taking a block like this, rotating it at 45, bringing it on up here, move it up. Oh, there we go. And let's group these two things together. And there we go. I've got that beveled edge now. So this is my base piece here. I'm actually going to keep that piece around because I might end up using that. Now, the rest of these pieces are going to be a little more complicated to build. you can start with the cylinder. You can start with, there are, in the shape generators, I know there's some there. My idea was to use the ring here because I know that you can control the radius and the wall thickness of the ring. In fact, check it out, 2.5 millimeters. That's exactly what we need. You can also add a bevel, which will help. So we can add that bevel to there. So this tube tool right there on the home page is, or on the basic shapes page, is probably a good place to start. Now, let's increase the radius quite a bit. We can increase the height quite a bit. And my goal here is to kind of match the size of this one and go a little bit bigger. And you can see that it's not exactly a half circle there. Let's see if we can go a little bit bigger. Find the right size and shape there. You can also increase the number of sides. That just makes it appear rounder. I don't know if you guys can see that happening. It just, you know, if I go down, it makes it more, fewer sides, the less circular it looks. The more sides, the more circular it looks. There we go. It looks pretty good. So we're going to go with that, and then we're going to go ahead and trim half of that off. To about there. Let's see. And group those together. My height's a little too tall. Bring that down. There we go. Now we're starting to get somewhere. And this can actually be duplicated for this piece and that other piece back there. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that. Now I've got two of them. The other thing I'm going to do over here, I can edit my grid. I'm going to make it 400 by 200. That way I've got some room to work here. It doesn't really matter if you're off the grid. It's kind of a aesthetics thing. But you can see what I'm trying to accomplish here. We'll have to get those matched up as well. So let me extend this piece out and duplicate it. Move it on over to this side. And I press F to focus on it, make sure that gets lined up. Actually, I want to rotate it because it's beveled on the wrong edge, although probably should bevel both edges before I'm all done here. There we go. It's starting to look like something here now. Perhaps those are a little too long, and I'll just fiddle with that a bit. Oh, how long is this one? I want to make sure they're the same size, 75. And I'll just type it in, 75. So they're the same. And this probably needs to be moved forward so that it matches up on the edges there. And whatever this thing's doing, not in the right place, I'm just using the arrow keys. And I can't even, it'll end up warping the shape a little bit. But that looks pretty good there. Now you'll notice a wider it looks like less than like a third of a cylinder there, a third of a ring. We could certainly add that part too. Let me group all this together so that it's easier to see how it's all going to compare here. Oh, no, I don't like the blue. Matches the platform too closely. There we go. We'll do a green one, because why not? Now, a couple other important components that we're going to need to build here. And we have to, since we're 3D printing, we have to pay attention to a couple things. So after we add this other ring here, these little pins there, you can see up at the top, they hold the plastic face shield part in place. And they're designed so that these two face forward and these two face 90 degrees to the right. They're also kind of rounded and beveled. We can use a couple different tools for this. A paraboloid might do the trick. A cylinder with a sphere, a half sphere on top might do the trick. There's a few different ways we can take that. In addition, this, as I mentioned before, is the ear strap holder. I'm sorry, not the ear strap, the head strap holder. So we would attach, and let me see if I can find an example of what that would look like. I don't know if you can see. Let's see. Well, anyway, it attaches around the back of the head there, and it'll hold the mask in place. So we need something to tie it to. You'll notice that, and let me focus on this piece for a second. You'll notice that because of the way 3D printers work, this is angled out like that, right? Because if I had it straight across, like the top is, then it wouldn't 3D print very well, because 3D printers can't build straight out. They build out on an angle just fine. Same thing kind of down here. These pins are actually attached to the ground, and then they build out on an angle instead of being straight across. Those are important considerations as we're building this for 3D printing. You can bevel the bottom edge as well, but again, we don't want too extreme of an angle with that bevel. And then we're looking for some customization with them as well. You know, your calling card is not going to be Prusa. That's the guy who invented a style of 3D printer. That's let's see if we can find. No, maybe not. Anyway, but you can put your own name because you'll have made your own model. You can put your own model number. You can put special messages to nurses, doctors, medical professionals, like we had done in the last one. We can kind of embed little things. Now remember, you don't want those to stick out because that'll be sticking into their face, the side of their head. That's not comfortable. But if you were to put, inspirational messages there, that would be a great idea too. So this project, the degree of difficulty is a little higher, but certainly it's something that, with your growing skill set, you guys, I feel confident you'll be able to tackle this and make something worthwhile. Might just need to stretch the whole thing out a little bit like that. And mine's not exactly like theirs, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be exactly like theirs as long as it fits the basic requirements. So there we go. That's our project for this week. Get started soon because there will be some things that you'll need to pay attention to along the way. Some things you might need to work through. Don't wait till the last minute. Have fun.